I first want to thank God just for this opportunity to be able to share how good God has been to me and what a blessing the Agape Fit program has been both to me and my daughters. I came to be a part of the Agape Fit program through fleeing a violent marriage. I was in an abusive marriage for right at 13 years. I do thank God that I was afforded the opportunity to attend a four-year university, and I was blessed and honored with receiving my degree. After leaving college, I did obtain a lucrative job, which was also a blessing. However, I ended up having to leave my job because my oldest daughter became critically ill. She had a situation where her right lung collapsed as a result of getting pneumonia. It was uncertain what the outcome would be. Actually, my children's father and I were told that she would not make it. She would not survive. And I can recall the doctors calling us into the little room at Le Bonheur and telling us that any day she would pass away or she would be leaving us. Of course, this was heartbreaking. We began to pray. I prayed. I would go to the chapel often, and miraculously, she began to get well. Eventually, we were told, you know what, she can go home. And at the point of her being discharged from the hospital, she was still quite ill, and she required around-the-clock care. That's how I ended up leaving my job, because someone needed to be at home with her. And my husband, my children's father, and I, we agreed that I would be the one. My girls and I remained there in the home with their father, but it got to a point where it just became more and more dangerous. I can recall the night when we left, the last time we left, the final time, I ended up having to run to neighbors. And I knew at that point that my daughters and I could not return. So I ended up calling a friend. The friend in turn came and picked us up and helped us get to safety. I wasn't thinking about money when I left. I honestly was just concerned about getting my daughters and myself to a safe place. So upon leaving, money wasn't the thing on my mind. However, 2 days later, we needed some items from the store. And I remember swiping my card, and the card, for whatever reason, kept saying insufficient funds. I found out and I discovered that my children's father had closed the account and taken everything. I think I was in shock for quite some time, and I just didn't know what to do at that point. I just began to pray. I did not know where we were going. I did not know what we were going to do. I just knew God is faithful. I filed an order of protection or restraining order against their father. Upon filing that restraining order, I was put in contact with the Agape Fit program. Up until that point, I had no prior knowledge of Agape. I had no prior knowledge of the Fit program. They have enabled us to continue going forward without being in a terrible cycle. They have helped me to realize that it's okay if you have to begin again. Sometimes starting over can be extremely frightening, but sometimes it's necessary. And to know that life may throw challenges at you, but you can overcome and you can keep going and trust God and know that God is wonderful and He's awesome, and He has wonderful and awesome people that He works through and operating in this life. So I'm thankful for that, and God bless the Agape Fit program and each person that serves in this facility.
You are my revival. You will renew my strength.